Today I'm going to show you how to change your clutch fluid on your Subaru BRZ, your Toyota 86, Scion FRS or GT86, whatever you want to call it. So this works on all of these cars. Manual only, obviously, because in an auto you're not going to have a clutch. So just quickly, I'll show you under the bonnet, and you'll see the bits that we need to pay attention to. So, okay, over here, that's brake fluid. This is your clutch fluid here. So that's what we're going to be concentrating on. And you'll see the hydraulic line going through there and back around the other side here. I'll just show you the bleeder. So you can just see down there in the center of your picture is the bleeder for the clutch. I'll just put that light down and point to it. So that's it right there. You'll notice that it doesn't have a dust cover on it like a brake bleeder. Don't worry, it's not missing. They just don't have them. So yeah, won't have a cover on it. Okay, so we'll move on to the tools that you're going to need to do the job. Okay, so you're going to need some brake fluid. So .3 or .4 will be fine. This is a 500ml bottle. You won't need anywhere near that much, but that's what it comes in. You're going to need an 8mm ring spanner. Don't use a ratcheting ring spanner because that needs to go over the bleeder pipe that you're going to put on that bleeder valve. So you're going to need to be able to open and close it. So if you use a ratcheting one, that's not going to work too well for you. We're not going to need that. I don't know why I got that out, but I've made up a bleeder bottle. So I've just got a bit of rubber hose that's got an inside diameter of 4mm to go over that bleeder valve. And I've just got that going into an old water bottle. So I've just drilled a hole in the top of that, and I've also put in another hole off to the side just there to let air out. That doesn't seal completely, so that's probably not really necessary, but helps in any case. This bit's optional. I just use this syringe with a bit of extra hose on it to suck out some of the old clutch fluid before I top that up and start bleeding the system. It just helps get rid of a bit of the old dirty fluid before you get stuck into it, but you don't really need to have one of those. If you don't have one available, it just means you'll put a bit extra fluid through, or need to pump a bit more extra fluid through to get that clean. Get a set of nitrile gloves. Brake fluid's corrosive, so you don't want to get it on your hands. You don't want to get it on your paintwork. If you spill anywhere, clean it up pretty quickly with some water and some paper towel or some towel. So got some towel there just in case. Have some towels to throw over your guards, so that'll just protect them from any brake fluid that you might spill. And also you're going to need some help. Probably not going to need a superhero like Captain America, but you just need someone who's going to be able to pump the clutch pedal for you and hold it in. So we'll get to that in a sec. Righto, let's get into it. Okay, so we're just going to take the lid off the reservoir for the clutch fluid. So you can see there's a couple of tabs just under either side of it. So this doesn't screw off, it lifts off. So just grab at 90 degrees to that tab and just give it a pull up, and that should come away fairly easily. I forgot to tell you that make sure you clean any dirt off the top of this lid first, because if you lift that off, you don't want any dirt and debris falling into your reservoir there. So just put that aside, and I'm just going to grab my syringe, and I'm going to suck fluid out of that until it gets to that ridge in the bottom of the reservoir there, and then I'm going to top that up, and then we can start to bleed the fluid out of the bleeder valve. So I'll go ahead and do that and be back. Okay, so I've removed about 25 to 30 mil of brake fluid out of the reservoir there. So I'm going to top that up in a second, and then I'll just show you over the other side. Yeah. So I've got my ring spanner on the bleeder, and I've pushed my bleeder hose on there as well. With my bleeder hose, I used that to do my brakes a couple of weeks ago, so I just trimmed a bit off the end of that with a pair of scissors, so it's a snug fit again. When you loosen this off, you're going to be pulling it towards the front of the car, so back this way. I've just got the hose for the bleeder just curling up here, and keep a high point here. So the idea is to pump. You're going to be pumping the clutch 5 times, and then the person that you've got doing that is going to hold the clutch pedal in to keep the pressure in the system, and then you're going to loosen off the bleeder here, and that's going to release the pressure and push the fluid up this hose and into the bottle. Then you're going to close that, and then ask the person that's helping you to release the clutch pedal, and then you're going to top up your reservoir again and repeat that process until you've flushed through some new brake fluid through your clutch system. So that's the theory. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're ready to bleed the system. So clutch, so you need to pump your clutch pedal 5 times, and then on the 5th pump you need to hold it to the floor, and then release the pressure in the system and get brake fluid bleeding into your bottle. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so the clutch pedal's been pumped 5 times and it's now being held to the floor, so we're just going to release this bleeder valve, and hopefully we should see some fluid go through. Okay, so I'll close that off again. Okay, you can let your foot off the clutch now. Okay, so we've done that a couple of times now, and you can see that the level in the reservoir is dropping. What we've found is we've had to pull the clutch pedal up off the floor by hand, and when we've done that, the level in the reservoir's dropped. So yeah, be mindful of that. Okay. Yep. So the clutch is being pumped at the moment. Now it's on the floor, so I'll release that. Now close it. Now the clutch pedal's on the floor, so just watch this. Okay. So you just see when the clutch pedal's lifted up off the carpet, the fluid level drops in that reservoir. So we're just going to keep repeating that until we get enough fluid cycled through the system. Okay, so we've cycled a lot of fluid through there. Well, it seems like a lot. I'll check the bottle in a second, see how much it actually is. So just a bit of a tip, just chuck a bit of rag underneath your hose there, just in case you have any leaks. collect any fluid. So that's bled enough, I think. So I'll just top that bottle off, the reservoir off, and clean up and test everything, and that's pretty much it. You should be done.